Uber could be increasing their fares, which means drivers will be earning more money per mile any day now. And that's because of new things happened in the courts. And in this video, I'm going to talk about it and other options that Uber might be heading towards that might not benefit the driver. Listen, guys, you know the score. Give a little like, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a little comment below. YouTube loves interaction. So if you interact with the video, not just watch it, it massively helps. Nice one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back in a sec. So just before I go into it, guys, let's rewind, okay? Let's go back into the future. So before the court cases, before ACDC and all that, Uber was like any other private hire company. Yeah, they'd collect the money, take their little commission, yeah, and then the driver gets what's left, yeah. So just say it's £10, Uber takes 25%, which is £2.50, right? And then the £7.50 goes to the driver. Uber pays VAT on the £2.50, which is the commission, right? And then everything, fast forward a few years, right? And then with the dynamic pricing and everything else, it all changed, right? Which is negatively impacted Uber and the drivers, right? So now Uber receives £10 from a customer. They've got to pay VAT on the £10 plus take their commission, so the driver gets £6. Uber takes 40%, but they've got to pay the VAT of 20. They keep 20. So what happened was the fares get charged VAT, not the commission. So that's where the problem is, and what everything went downhill on Uber with the court case, right? So the VAT is charged fare side, not commission side, right? So as a local company, they only pay VAT on the commission they collect from drivers. Where at the moment, Uber and Bolt, I think, and I don't know any others, they charge VAT on the passenger side, right? So where Uber's fares are so low and then paying the drivers so low, it's because the VAT is on the passenger side, not the commission side. Now, new rulings just come in play and they've temporarily paused the VAT of the fares. Now, they still probably have to pay VAT of the commission that they're collecting, but like I said, it's after the fare, it's after our commission. They only pay VAT on the actual commission they collect from us, not from the fare. It's a temporary hold, right? So what happens is they're fighting in court, right? So they're fighting in court, and at the moment, it looks like they might win. So while the ruling's going on, it could take months. Yeah, HMRC has said, listen to Uber, we'll pause you charging VAT on the fare side, as in on the passenger side, and you can just pay VAT on the commission. But then if whatever happens in the ruling, it might go back the old way, or it might continue on to the new way, right? Now, don't forget, it benefits everyone, as well as benefits everyone, that Uber can pay the VAT for just their commission, because it means that they can either go through these free routes. So at the start of the video, I said Uber could be paying the drivers more money as of probably tomorrow if they wanted to. Depends when this ruling comes into effect. I don't know when it comes into effect, but when it comes into effect, there's 2-3 options that's going to happen. Uber, yeah, is saving 20% on the fares, right? So there's a 20% floating about here, right? And then you have their commission and our pay. There's a few ways that's going to happen. The positive, hopefully, way that'll happen for the drivers is that 20% on the fare will be going to the driver. So Uber will go back to taking 15-25% off the driver with dynamic pricing, which means the driver gets more money. Okay? Hopefully. The other option is Uber reduces the fare passenger side by 20% because they're not collecting the VAT, which means it's going to be even cheaper for the passenger, but then they're taking their 20%, which means it's going to be around 40% again. We're in the same boat. Technically, the drivers are in the same boat, right? Or the other option is Uber's going to charge the passenger the same and still take the same from the drivers and pocket the 20% that they're saving on the VAT. Let me know in the comments, guys, which options you reckon it's going to be. Hopefully, for the driver's perspective, I would love them to keep the fare price the same, yeah, but instead of taking the 20% VAT from there, they give it to the driver. they take their commission, their dynamic pricing commission, and then they pay VAT on their commission, like it used to be. So hopefully, fingers crossed, drivers could be getting a 20% technically pay increase to a certain degree. Do you know what I mean? It goes up and down, dynamic pricing, you know the score, but do you get me? Do you get me whole thought process? Do you know what I mean? The VAT here is not being collected no more. So where the customer's paying 10 quid, yeah, and then what's that, 2 quid, say, as it makes the math easier, 2 quid goes to the VAT man. So it's only 8 quid. Then Uber takes their commission, say 2 quid, the driver's left for 6 quid. Do you get me? So now it's 10 quid. They don't have to take VAT, so it's still 10 quid. Could Uber take their 2 quid and leave 8 quid to the driver? Or are Uber going to drop the fare to 8 quid because there's no VAT, take 2 quid themselves and give the driver 6 quid like he would have anyway? So make the fares even cheaper. Myself personally, I don't think the fares need to be any cheaper. Passengers tell me, can't believe the price of this, mate. How are you making any money? This is so cheap, I would have paid more. This is Uber passengers telling me this, and loads of drivers have told me the same. Uber passengers can't believe how cheap it is. Like, there's no need to be so cheap. Do you know what I mean? You could probably up it, the pricing, passenger side, and still be competitive with the rest of the companies. Do you know what I mean? It's mad how cheap they are. But what do you reckon in the comments, guys? Do you reckon they're going to give us the 20% extra? They're going to knock the 20% off the fare for the passenger and make them even cheaper, which I don't think they should. Or are they going to pocket the 20% extra themselves and put in a little piggy bank for a rainy day? Nice one, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've done a little news article on this, by the way. It's on DM News. Go check it out. And I've got ChatGPT to source all the information from like the Financial Times and stuff like that. But listen, guys, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. And I'll see you on the next video.